Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at Adobe's new super resolution feature. We're going to talk about what it is, how to use it, and why it matters to every single photographer. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to click on that subscribe button, or not, whatever. Moving along. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, today we're talking about Adobe's new super resolution feature. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, show you how to use it, we'll take a look at a variety of examples, and then we'll push it to its limit. Let's start with a quick disclaimer. Technically, super resolution is a feature of Adobe Camera Raw, but because Adobe Camera Raw is built into Photoshop, I'm just going to lump them together for today's purposes. Now, what is super resolution? Well, to put it fairly simply, it's a feature that doubles the pixel length and width of a photograph, giving it 4 times the pixels. 4 times. 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. Using Adobe Sensei AI, super resolution has every single pixel analyze the pixels around it to determine what pixels to generate in order to increase the photo size, preserve fine details, and keep edges smooth. Seems like a pretty tall order, right? Let's take a closer look. Let's start by opening a raw photo in Photoshop. First thing that happens is Adobe Camera Raw pops up, and this is where the magic's gonna happen. Just right click on the photo, select enhance. You're gonna select super resolution and it's gonna give you an estimated completion time. This is gonna vary depending on how fast your GPU is. Click enhance. It's showing 1 item remaining because you might have guessed I've done this to 1 photo. Boom, it's done. So here's the original and here's the enhanced version, both at 100%. How clean this is. I'm genuinely impressed. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open both of these in Photoshop. On the original, we're gonna pop into the image size. And we're gonna double this, 13440, okay. So we're gonna look at these one on top of the other just to see what this looks like. Copy this layer over here, drop it on top of this. So on top we have the enhanced version and below we have the not enhanced version. I don't know if this is gonna translate well to the old YouTubes with the compressions and such, but there's a lot more color detail, especially in the enhanced version of this. At 200%, you can see this hard edge on the eyeball here is a lot sharper on the enhanced version of the photo. Let's take a look at another example. All right, again, we're gonna right click, enhance detail. Show me that full size life. The bee itself's not necessarily sharp to begin with, but I don't feel like anything was lost there. Let's look at the sharper part of this flower here. And these sharp details stayed very sharp. Yeah, I'm impressed here for sure. All right, time for another example. Enhance that again, and this is so good. Look at how sharp this stayed. These sharp guy wires, sharp shingle lines. All right, now you can also open this a different way. You can bring it through by opening it in Photoshop or open Adobe Bridge, and say I want to select these 3 right here, for example. Right click, and we're going to open in Camera Raw. And now this one we can take all 3 of the photos. For example, if you wanted to apply super resolution in a batch format, you can do that. Here we can select all 3. If you hold down Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac while you're clicking the Enhance button, it'll operate in headless mode. What that does is it just applies the settings that you used the last time you did the operation to everything you have selected. For some reason you lost your mind and you're gonna do 100 photos, 1,000 photos. I mean, you can go on for days. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. With super resolution, raw files are gonna give you the best results, but you can also use it for TIFF files, JPEGs, really any photo file. We're gonna use this photo as an example. So I'm gonna go ahead and export it. Export as a JPEG, put it in the same spot as our other photo, and let's also save this as a TIFF file. We're going to select our TIFF and our JPEG, and we're gonna open them in Camera Raw as well. Same thing, both of these guys. So I'll go ahead and right click, hold Alt, enhance. Here's our JPEG. here is our JPEG enhanced, and I have to say I was expecting this not to turn out as well. You can see a bit more noise, but other than that, the TIFF's the same thing. I feel like I'm picking up more noise here as well. Even though there's more noise in the enhanced JPEG and in the enhanced TIFF, Super Resolution did a really good job at preserving the fine details and the smooth edges. I'm not sure that I would want to send the enhanced JPEG or TIFF off to print, but I'm still really impressed with how it's turned out. So now that we've seen Super Resolution in action, let's talk about why it matters. First off, because Super Resolution increases your pixel size, that means you can print photos 4 times as big as you could have previously without running into pixelation issues. Say you're walking along, you see one of the coolest things you've ever seen, you've got your camera in your hand, but you don't have a long enough lens and you can't get close enough to get the framing right. Well, with Super Resolution you can still take that shot and crop it down to 1/4 size, 1/4 size, and get what would have been the full resolution of your camera. Which means if you have a 20 megapixel camera, you have effectively 80 megapixels to work with. Cutting that size down to 1/4 is no big deal. You're back down to 20 megapixels. It's like you took that photo from the distance you wanted to. Say you've got an entry-level camera with like 12 megapixels. This is game-changing stuff because you're effectively working with 48 megapixels once you get it into Photoshop with Super Resolution. That's big. Something that I don't think is talked about enough is how when you're shooting in low light, more megapixels actually can produce more artifacts and overall give you a poorer quality of photo. So using a camera that has say 20 megapixels or less in a low light environment, it's going to give you that cleaner image, and you can use that cleaner image, apply Super Resolution, and all of a sudden have it also be high resolution. So now you can take your 20 megapixels again and bring that up to 80 megapixels, and now you have a stellar 80 megapixel low light photo without having any of the weird artifacting that you would get if you were to use an 80 megapixel camera. I think all that's left now is to push it to its limits. The camera I used to take these photos were 30 megapixels, so they've become 120 megapixels. This is an enhanced JPEG now. We're gonna be taking, it's almost 100 megapixels. So let's go ahead and enhance this again. We're gonna Super Resolution this Super Resolution, because Super Resolution. Now this will be as far as I can push this one. Super Resolution will only create a file up to 500 megapixels is kind of a wild thing to say. Let's take a peek. Oh man, that's still not bad. I mean, this image is now 399 megapixels. This would be a very passable print, I would say. I'm impressed at this. This is one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So at this current time, Super Resolution is good for cameras that shoot at 125 megapixels or less. Imagine 125 megapixels and then being able to cleanly, and I mean cleanly, scale that up 4 times to 500 megapixels. That's it for today. If you liked what you saw here, hit that like button, knock that subscribe button into the bell to see more content like this as it comes out, and go and have yourself a wonderful day. You earned it, probably. Intro sequence right here.